Hey, this is Nehemiah with Wedding Filmmaker Mastery. Today we're talking with Julian, who went from being a contractor who was working for other wedding companies to making $13,000 in his first 3 weeks with his own company through the Wedding Filmmaker Mastery program. Welcome, Julian.
How you doing?
Doing well. It's good to speak with you. We'll start at the very beginning of this process. I want to hear from you. Where were you before joining the Wedding Filmmaking Mastery program?
So about a year and a half ago, I wanted to get into weddings. The thing is that COVID kind of came real big and it put a stop in my plans. So I was really all over the place filming whatever I could to try to make any money that I possibly could. So I'd maybe film a wedding every 5 or 6 months. So I had got all this gear knowing where I wanted to go with it, but then didn't get to use any of it because I really didn't know how to market myself or charge for weddings or really let people know what I'm doing other than just, posting my video whenever I could on social media. It's pretty scary. You think you have a plan and you're going to move forward with it, and then it didn't go quite as planned. So you start turning around and trying to figure out what you can do to try to make some kind of money. I was pretty lost is where I was at. That's the bottom line. I was lost.
From my notes, I see that it was kind of a difficult choice. It was something that you weren't necessarily sure you were going to go with. Can you talk about that a little bit? And then, what actually made the difference and made you take that leap? I
remember telling Alex clearly, I'm either going to make a really bad decision for my family or I'm going to make a really good decision for my family. It's tough, man. I've got 3 boys that count on me. And it's just hard to explain. Well, parents and whatnot, people know what it takes when you want to do everything for your kids. And Alex, he talked to me and he told me, if this is something that you believe in, why would you wait? Because I was thinking, man, the investment is big. It's scary. It was like, man, and that was the part where I said, I'm either going to make a really bad decision or a really good decision. I didn't know exactly if it was going to work, skeptical. And you see the videos like the one I'm doing now, which is nuts. And you know that you're seeing real people, but you just don't know, if you're going to be able to do it. And it's a little scary. It was nerve-wracking.
What made Alex's program different? Why did it stand out to you? Why did it seem like something that was actually going to help you get to where you wanted to be?
He obviously knows how to market himself. Everywhere else that I ever asked for advice, it was, be a pleasure to work with, which is still something that I said, and put your work out there and people will see it and eventually you'll get out there. And there's nothing wrong with that advice or anybody's course about saying that. The issue is that my family and I don't have that time for me to sit back and wait. I'm not the type of person to sit back and wait for opportunity. I'm more of the person to go out and create the opportunity if I know how to. So I was lacking direction is what it was. And that's the difference is Alex's course has clear direction.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit. After joining Wedding Filmmaker Mastery, what things were you able to implement? What results were you able to get with Alex's help?
I started implementing on how to market myself. And right after that, I instantly started making money. And I mean, it was quick. I had already made in the first week more than I had made for the whole year of weddings because I had only done one wedding. One of the biggest things that he opened my mind about was I would shoot for another company here to try to gain experience and the pay was horrible. But if you have nothing else, like I said, I was trying to do anything and everything that I can to make ends meet. Alex was like, why would you go and work for somebody so cheap and you can't use any of that material? There's nothing you can do to help market yourself. And that hit hard because I don't know why I was thinking to do so. I'd never thought of it the way he did. The marketing aspect of it is huge. In the first 3 weeks, I had made over $13,000 in booking weddings, and it might not be good for everybody else. I don't know. For me, 13,000 in 3 weeks is pretty damn good. Whenever I was in hesitation mode and we were talking, that's exactly what he said. He said, if you're willing to work, it will work for you. Well, I don't have any other choice than to not work. Like I said, I've got 3 boys. I have to work. My family depends on me. I had to do it. I believe that if I put in the work, it was going to work for me. 3 weeks in, over $13,000. It's things that I see as impossible from before are not impossible. I don't think I can fully explain how grateful I am because I didn't have any direction and I have it now. And it's making me money. I can't say enough good things. Like I said, we could sit here for hours if you wanted to, because what it's done for me and what it can do for everybody else is unreal. Had I not made that money before August, my kids wouldn't have no school clothes. I literally messaged Alex. I think whenever I had hit the 13,000, I was buying my kids all their supplies. I had just bought all their clothes for school. They go to a private school, so I have to pay for private school. I had spent $600 in their school uniforms. I literally was at the next day in a line putting all their supplies. I got 3 boys, so I got to buy 3 supplies, and the list was like double of everything, one so you can keep at home. I just remember feeling proud because I had just gotten a message that I had just got some more money in from a client that had just paid from signing a contract the day before. And it was like such a damn good feeling. I felt like I finally hit the goal where I was trying to be at. And I told Alex, you'll never guess what, and I showed him I just hit $13,000. And that just, it blew my mind. I like being able to provide for my family. That's my high. That makes me feel on top of the world. I was on top of the world in that moment.
What would you say to those people that were in the same position you were, hesitant to make that leap?
First, they have to believe in the course. And second, they have to believe in themselves. If they believe in those two things, it's all possible. If you're dead serious that you really want to work for your family and you will put in the work, I would promise you it would work, because Alex told me if I worked, it would work. If you're scared like I am and you want to provide for your family and you know that you'll do everything you can, you will work, you will follow the course. It's a no fail. You can't fail. I haven't even implemented every single thing in the class yet. And I've got money coming in. I would tell you not to wait like I did, because the only regret that I have from this course, honestly, the only regret that I have is that I didn't make the smart decision to join back in January. I was still so afraid then, because I look back now and from January to July, all that time that I missed, those 6 months or 6.5 months, how much money I would have had and how much better my life would be. Because granted, money doesn't solve everything, but it solves a lot. It solves a whole bunch. And you're doing this because yes, it's a passion, but ultimately you want to get paid for your passion. And this is where it gets done at. If you really want to do this, you really want to make money for your family, don't be scared and do it. No other course has put this much money in my pocket. That's a fact. And I've put in the work. Anything that everybody said, I've tried. If you really know you're not going to work, don't join the course. It's not fair to you, and it's definitely not fair to your family.
Thank you, Julian, for so much for talking with me today.
I honestly never thought that I would end up on this side. To finally be on this side, it feels good. I plan on breaking more records with myself, because it's me against me.
Absolutely. I can't wait to sit down with you again and talk about what you've achieved next.